The material presented in the Very Healthy Traveler and accompanying booklet provides general guidelines for healthy adults, but not necessarily for children and women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. Certain advice may be unsuitable for you because of unknown, current, or past medical conditions. Advice may also change as new information becomes available. Before you leave, it is crucial to review the video recommendations and get the specifics for your trip from your doctor and a tropical and travel medicine specialist.
If you're waking up in a different time zone, here are some ways to decrease jet lag. If you can, change your body clock gradually 1 hour a day in the direction of your new time zone. Expect it to take at least 1 day per time zone crossed to become adjusted to the new time. Because you get to sleep late, it's easier to adjust flying west than east. Set your watch to the new time zone before you take off. When you arrive, stay awake during the day. If you need to, drink coffee or tea. If you have a regular program, exercising helps too. When it comes to diet, drink plenty of water and eat small, balanced meals to stabilize your blood sugar. And as soon as possible, switch to regular meal times. Bring along snacks in case you're hungry at 2 in the morning and the restaurant isn't open. It's not a good idea to take sleeping pills when you fly in case there's an emergency. If you must, wait until you've arrived. While on the plane, move around so you don't get blood clots in your legs. And hold off on that alcohol. It only makes jet lag worse and may give you a headache. Better equipment on airplanes and ships has made motion sickness less of a problem, but in rough weather, most of us may feel queasy. The key is taking a medication to prevent motion sickness before you take off or pass through bad weather. It helps to fix your eyes on the horizon or lie on your back, keeping your head still. Since all medicines have side effects, ask your doctor for the best medicine for you, and take that cruise you've always wanted to go on. We can do without food for weeks, but without water we can't survive, not even for a few days. So the trick is to find water that's safe to drink. Begin thinking about getting good drinking water before you board the plane. Water can be easily contaminated by many organisms which cause diarrhea, hepatitis, meningitis, and even polio. If you don't know where the water came from or whether it's been purified, you have to consider it unsafe. Even sealed bottled water is not always safe. It could come from a spring contaminated by animal waste, or sometimes it can even be regular tap water disguised in a resealed name brand bottle. Use common sense. If the water is cloudy, filter it. But that alone won't keep out hepatitis and polio viruses. The most effective and easiest way to purify water is to boil it. 5 minutes is more than enough, even at high altitudes. Here's an idea. Ask your hotel or restaurant manager to boil the water and place it in a heat-resistant container for you. Some people like to carry a heating coil or a hot pot and boil the water themselves. Don't forget a 220-volt converter and adapter. If you can't boil the water, you can chemically disinfect it with iodine or chlorine. This is how. Add 10 drops of 2% iodine solution or 1 iodine tablet to 1 liter of water. Let the water stand for 30 minutes before drinking it. If you're using chlorine to disinfect the water, add 2 drops of plain bleach to 1 liter of water and wait 45 minutes before drinking. Since chlorine doesn't always kill certain parasites, filter the water before or after chlorination. Remember, all filters, including those with chemical disinfectants, wear out, so don't forget to clean or replace them. Iodine is more effective than chlorine, but some people should not use it. For example, pregnant women. People who have allergies to iodine or foods containing iodine, like shellfish, or those who have thyroid problems. Make sure you're not allergic to iodine before your trip. Beware of ice. It could be even more contaminated than drinking water. Avoid it unless you're absolutely sure it was made in a clean container and with purified water. We take clean water for granted, but in foreign place, make sure you close your eyes and mouth while you take a shower and use only purified water to brush your teeth. It also is a good idea to carry a sterile eye wash solution to rinse out dust, makeup, or other particles from your eyes. Water is precious and you need plenty of it. If you just drink tea, coffee, carbonated drinks, or alcohol, you'll actually increase your loss of water. And after a while, you'll become irritable and sick. Please drink enough water, and you'll lessen your chances of kidney stones, urinary tract infections, and heat stroke. And you'll even have reserves to deal with more serious illnesses. Trying new and exotic foods is a fun and delicious part of traveling, but contaminated food is a major source of illness in travelers, particularly in warm climates and in rustic settings. The great news is that you don't have to get sick. You just have to be selective about the foods you do eat. Eat meat when it's fresh, hot, and cooked well done, in order to kill organisms that can cause severe damage to the unborn child or serious illness in adults. Before eating meat, take off the skin or outer layer that could be contaminated by flies. Eat newly opened, well-cooked, and properly canned meats where adequate refrigeration cannot be guaranteed. Eat fish very well cooked, fried or boiled. Do not eat fish that is smoked, salted, or prepared as ceviche, even though it turns white. Just caught freshwater fish and the white flesh of tuna, dolphin fish, or mahi-mahi are generally safe if cooked well done. Dark meat occasionally makes you sick. Avoid reef-dwelling fish such as grouper, red snapper, sea bass, or predators like barracuda, since there is no way to identify which fish will give you ciguatera fish poisoning. Ciguatera toxin cannot be cooked out of the fish. Some shellfish harbor organisms that cause cholera, diarrhea, hepatitis, and polio. Others contain a toxin which causes paralysis and can't be cooked out of the food. The best thing to do is avoid all shellfish. If you must, eat it well cooked. Also eat eggs well cooked, even the yolk, scrambled or hard boiled. In many parts of the world, you should not eat salads or undercooked vegetables because they are fertilized with human or animal feces or freshened with dirty water, which are sources of harmful bacteria, amoebas, and worms. Plants that grow in water, such as bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, caltrop, and watercress, may have parasites living in their skins. Harmful organisms may not be killed by steaming, stir-frying, or flash boiling. If you're a vegetarian, don't despair. Make sure your vegetables and beans are cooked at high temperatures for 15 minutes just before you eat them. If you must eat salads, eat them only after thoroughly cleaning and soaking in iodine or chlorine solution for 45 minutes. Drink or eat only pasteurized or well-cooked milk products that are kept in sanitary containers and are well refrigerated or frozen. Ultra-high temperature or canned milk are also safe and can be kept at room temperature until opened. Don't be tempted to eat unpasteurized milk products like cheeses, milk curds, or yogurt. You may get typhoid fever, brucellosis, or even tuberculosis. Freshly boiled rice and potatoes are safe, but stay away from fried rice or other foods commonly recooked at low temperatures. Skip the sandwiches and items that must be handled after cooking. Fruit is safe if it has a thick, undamaged skin that can be peeled with a clean knife and hands. Better to peel it yourself, since the kitchen worker may use a knife he just cut raw meat with or forgot to wash his hands. Only drink fruit juices that are pasteurized and out of a clean container. Many times they are diluted with polluted water or made from fruit pushed through a tainted strainer. For dessert, have thick-skinned fruits or freshly prepared, well-cooked dishes. Desserts and candies, especially chocolates, can be contaminated by raw eggs and milk products. Sauces can be contaminated in the same way. Sometimes it's difficult to eat a balanced diet, so take along a multivitamin with 100% of the recommended daily allowances for B and C vitamins. Avoid calcium on hectic trips, since any decrease in water consumption increases your chances of kidney stones. And don't forget, iron will turn your stool black and could be constipating. Lastly, use dishes and silverware that are clean and dry. Liquid soap and air drying kills bacteria that live on moist plates and hands. There are plenty of wonderful tasting and safe foods to eat on your trip. Just remember to eat food requiring little or no handling by humans, freshly prepared and steaming hot. Select fresh and thoroughly cooked meats, poultry, freshwater fish, and eggs, along with boiled soups, curries, beans, potatoes, rice, cereals, pasta, and vegetables. Drink pasteurized milk products, fruit juices, and sodas from clean, just open containers. And if you're traveling to remote areas or have special dietary needs, take along securely packaged, spoil-proof foods and drinks. The space comes in handy later for souvenirs. Add delicious, cleanly peeled, thick-skinned fruit for vitamins, and you're all set to see the wonders of the world. It's very easy to get diarrhea, but everything we've talked about will help decrease your chances of getting a life-threatening case. No matter what type of diarrhea, the most important thing you can do is to drink plenty of liquids to replace those liquids lost in vomit and diarrhea. Young children are especially prone to going into shock even after having diarrhea for just a short time, so consult a pediatrician immediately. Drink enough liquids so that you pass light-colored urine every 2 hours. Keep a moist mouth and resilient skin. To combat dehydration and get the right balance of sugar and salts, mix a package of oral rehydration salts to 1 liter of sterile water. Or if not available, make a homemade version by adding a half teaspoon of table salt, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and 4 teaspoons of glucose as raw sugar, honey, or corn syrup to 1 liter of sterile water. Eat plenty of fruits or drink their juice, rich in potassium, such as bananas, oranges, and limes. At the same time, avoid caffeine, milk products, and spicy and fatty foods. And if your diarrhea isn't going away, here are some medicines you can take. Pepto-Bismol, taken regularly, often prevents or decreases diarrhea. Pepto-Bismol does not contain aspirin, but if you are allergic to aspirin or have been advised not to take aspirin, do not use it. Take kale pectate along instead. Lomotil or paregoric should be avoided because they slow down intestinal movement, allowing fluids to hide internally and give bacteria a chance to invade, causing much more harm. Loperamide or Imodium slows intestinal movement too, but it's safer and now available over the counter. But before you use Imodium or other drugs, consult a physician immediately. If you have a fever of 101 degrees or higher, blood in your stool or vomit, are already on an antibiotic, have a chronic illness, or you're pregnant. If you can't keep liquids inside because of vomiting, or you feel too weak to drink, or you're not urinating, you're headed for shock. Ask your doctor for an antibiotic to treat diarrhea, but if you watch what you eat and drink, you probably won't need it, and you'll stay a very, very healthy traveler.